That's not the one, is it? The first shift back up.
Alright guys, welcome to another video. Like I said before, we're leaving our depot in Lanchester. We got a nice coach today. I hope it's still nice. Sometimes they take this boy to Scania and kind of ruin the coaches. A lot of coaches that had nice, smooth speed comes back a bit slower than it used to be, or I don't know. Maybe it's something that's in my head, but one thing's for certain is that they do all change with time. Because obviously they do a lot of miles and all sorts of people drive them, so yeah, this is definitely on the slower side now. Used to be a fast boy, but now it's not as fast as it used to be. But the brakes are really nice, so I can't complain about that. We love good brakes in this channel. Prefer it actually to top speed. And this is now Talbot Green. This is very close to Cardiff. And yeah, like roughly about I don't know, 20 minutes away from Cardiff, and yeah, we should be arriving there in good time to be able to have our passengers in. Because today's Monday, we are getting some of the regulars into London, and the regulars into London tend to go there for work for a couple of days and come back, and they go very, very nice and early, because I think they get a beginning of how do I say it? They get beginning of their day, so they don't have to come back too late. So if they start at 9, they'll get there for 6:30 at least, and then they get to go to their destination in London, to their workplace in London, have a break, and once they have their break, they can start work and do the hours that they do in London. And they also like to use this service to sleep just before they get in. But the problem is it's only a 3-hour journey, so if you didn't sleep well, if you don't go to bed early, it destroys you. But I don't know, there's a lot of people that do it a lot, so they probably have a system in place for them to make sure that they don't struggle too much with that. But sounds hard. So today is my first day. I tend to do 5 days. I'm in the early roster, but for a lot of people this would be the night shift. but no, for us it's the early roster. This is what, when we talk about early in this job, is middle of the night or beginning, well yeah, middle of the night essentially. Start at 2:15 and I end at midday roughly. So long hours, but I still have the rest of my day and I enjoy going to bed early. I'm not a night owl, so I used to be, but with a lot of work, got myself on track for good night's sleep and early bed sleep. So this is the earliest we do as well. We used to go earlier than this, but deep down I'm kind of happy we don't do that shift anymore. That shift was brutal because you had to go to bed at 5:40 and then you had to go to bed at 5:40 and then yeah, it was hard to go to sleep, especially in summer. You have all the noise outside the window, and I like to have my window open as well. It was hard. But she's sounding nice. She's sounding like a proper Scania. I don't know if they had a change of engine, but the high-end sounds a lot more like the newer 24 plates. But yeah, we do have a slow-ish coach. So yeah, the problem of having coaches is like that's slow. It's always to do with overtaking lorries. Makes your life a little bit. It makes you hang about behind them before and actually overtake them. And if you don't time it properly, then they see you coming and they're like, "Oh, you're not overtaking me, so I'm gonna overtake the lorry in front." And you end up stuck behind most lorries. But I don't have that problem with. I don't mind it anymore. When I started this job, lorries used to frustrate me, but now that I'm more older and wiser and more experienced in this job, I know what to do to keep that from happening less, and also if it does happen, like it doesn't take that long. Like those lorries, the lorry driver, they tend to wait literally last minute until they overtake the lorry in front of them. So they are very considerate that way. You always do a last minute check here because those lights reflect on there, so you don't know if cars are coming or not. Oh, by the way, you can't really see my action, but yeah, we have lights from the left that reflect onto the right window, so it looks like a car is coming from the right, but it's not, and sometimes it is. So you have to always like be ready to stop in that section. Don't have that problem if you have mirrors, but this one hasn't got mirrors. This one has the fancy cameras, which blessing and a curse. The blessing aspect of it is that it's a lot easier to deal with bad weather in these cameras. The bad aspect of it is that if there's any fault with your cameras, then you essentially have no mirrors. I mean, you can't really see behind you. And if that does happen at any moment, your vehicle is unroadworthy. So yeah, not something you want to go through, especially because we rely on our mirrors a lot to just get by. And yeah. Not the slowest coach I've had. I tend to get a lot of the slower coaches. And I used to get offended by that. But now I feel like drive anything and be on time, I'm good. Drive anything and arrive at the destination I need to arrive at in good time. I'm usually happy with I don't really care about those things anymore, but I do enjoy having a nice speedy oil because it's nice. It makes you smile. And I know that eventually I will be moving into lorries and won't get that privilege anymore, so I'm doing my best to enjoy it. Interesting, I haven't got anyone booked in. No one booked in seats, but we do have 25 passengers on. Busy coach today. The problem with busy coach is that you have a lot of people, a lot of selfish people that will play their phones out loud and make calls. So I find that if you're very clear about the rules in the coach, just listen. This is something that's very important for drivers as well, especially if you're just starting out. It's very important that you set the rules for your coach. And I know I sound a little bit like a dictator or whatever, but it's very important that you lay out the rules for your passengers, because if you just let them do whatever they want, they're gonna do things that they're not supposed to, like drinking in the coach, which they're not allowed, smoking in the in the toilets, which they're not allowed. So it's very important that you set your personal rules for the coach, because you are the driver, you are responsible for all of them. And if you don't make it clear for them, then obviously how can you expect them to just automatically know these things? And yes, they are passengers, they tend to be very selfish, which we've all been passengers and we all think for ourselves, like we're paid for a service, we're not thinking about the person next to us. But that's why it's very important that when you lay the foundation, it's very important that when you communicate with your passengers that you're very clear about your intentions and that you're very clear about what you want from them. And then when that happens, they tend to be respectful. And a lot of the other passengers that tend to follow the rules, they are very thankful for that as well. I get a lot of people appreciate the fact that I'm very clear about the rules, and there is rules and that's why it's important for you to know company policies and the rules of the company, so you can lay that out. But it's also important for you to have your own set of personal rules, because you are, at the end of the day, the only person responsible for these people when you're traveling at night. And I'll be traveling like from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. and if they don't wear their seatbelts and you have to use the brakes in an emergency situation, and could essentially change someone's life forever. And like, as much as they, you can't really reinforce it. You can't be like, listen, do it or else. You can't do that, especially in regards to seatbelts. But like, it's very important for you to at least let them know that this is what the rule is, and that, like, you know, I sometimes even like to throw in the fact that, you know, it is a law requirement, because it is, that they are responsible for themselves, because they are, in terms of wearing seatbelts, especially if they're over the age of 14. And also, you know, if it's a dangerous motorway like the M25, sometimes I go through the M25, I like to tell them, listen, this is a dangerous motorway. You might want to wear your seatbelts, because we just don't know what's going to happen. And listen, I'm a driver, and I've seen many things happen, and some accidents, there's just nothing you can do. Some accidents that happen on the road is out of your control. So you're not lying to them like about motorway being dangerous or anything like that. You are being honest, and you're being a professional, and this is what it takes to be a coach driver. And that's why I say that this job, they'll never pay enough for this job, just because of the many things that can go wrong and the amount of responsibility that the driver has over different jobs. Like, if you're a lorry driver and you have an accident, you know, you might damage the package, and, you know, God forbid you could collide with another vehicle, you might hurt the other vehicle. But when you're in a coach full of 53 passengers inside and you have an accident, it's not one, it's not two, it's loads of people that could be impacted by that. And there's just no amount of money that really like, if you're someone that's just doing this job because it won't keep you in this job long, just because you kind of have to like this job to do it, just because who wants to be with that responsibility in their back, you know? Like, who wants to be like having that pressure of being on time, you know, not having an accident, looking out for bad drivers, which, trust me, especially at this time of night, you get all sorts. Then you have to deal with traffic, which is, you know, especially when I was starting out, like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like, no, I always use sat-nav. I've always advocated for sat-nav, and trust me, I know my diversions very well. I know all my routes. I don't have to be trained on my routes or anything like that, but I always use sat-nav because of moments where an accident will happen ahead, and then I see my sat-nav. I'm experienced enough to know now that if I see here like 5 minutes delay, even though 5 minutes is not a lot, I know it could be a serious accident. So then I'll be looking at alternatives. I'll be calling control center as well, to be asking them, and then they will go to the location, because you can actually look at the location online and see like what the situation is, and then they'll guide you. They'll tell you, well, actually, driver, they closed the road, or there's been an accident, like, please divert. And then it's up to you to take whatever diversion you prefer, but obviously a lot of the times they will tell you which diversion to take. But I find that I'm the driver and I know the roads better than they do, so it's really hard listening to. I tend not to do diversions that they request of me, just because I see the road ahead of me. I see what's going on ahead of me. They don't, so they're gonna just look at a map and they're gonna tell you turn here, turn there. So, but yeah, like that's one of the things that I always like to tell myself. Like, make sure you set out the rules, lay the foundation that they can follow, and keep them safe. That's your job. You know, your job is not to arrive on time. Your job is not to to be you know, this is a customer service based job, but your main, like, your objective as a driver, and this is what everyone needs to remember doing this job, is to arrive safely, get from A to B safely and comfortably. Everything else that we do is a bonus. Priority is safety and comfort. So that's what I always tell, like, younger drivers to do. Like, and yeah. Right, guys, we are arriving at our destination. I will have to put a pause. Welcome to London. We have arrived in London, and got here at a good time. Got here around 6:20. Nice and early. I was due here at 6:50. Had my break, had good breakfast, and now just waiting for around 7:55, and then once we get to 7:55 we are gonna go on to Victoria departures, and then my pickup is from 8 to 8:30. Yeah, just nice easy day today. Hopefully it's Monday, so Monday we get quite a bit of traffic coming out, but they give us roughly an hour to get out of London. So if we leave London within an hour, we should still arrive on time in Cardiff. We are going to serve all the stops in Cardiff. Got roadworks around Castle area, and we are going to do our changeover in Mega Services, which Cardiff West Services, which I'm not a fan of, but it's okay. It's all part of the fun. We are gonna also try and go to the gym today as well, and yeah, it should be fun. Because you need to train in this job, because you just end up sitting down for so many hours that you need to tell your body wake up and do something. Otherwise you just end up gaining weight. When I started this job, I was around 82, 83 kilos, and I got up to 88. So I gained quite a bit of weight, and I always had the good metabolism, but it's just the sitting down for many hours and the bad eating habits that you tend to get as well in this job, especially because you get meal allowance. So if you get meal allowance, you get around 11.65 per day that we work. So if you spend that money on McDonald's and Greg's, that will catch up to you very quick. So I make my own food, just make my own sandwich and just have my own food. So it's a lot healthier, and also it's a lot nicer. It tastes a lot better as well. Like, I got to a point I was eating McDonald's so much that I was like, that I felt bad. I just felt unhealthy. So yeah, and this is gonna be hopefully a simply lovely day. I just don't want any problems. So the other thing I wanted to say is I might do some recording in my car once I finish the shift, but yeah, I might not. This might be the only bit of recording I do. I'm still getting used to just recording and just speaking out my thoughts, but it is quite fun actually, just to speak out your mind. For once in a while you just end up not speaking to anyone and not listening to anything, just inside your head for so many hours. So it's nice to be able to just express thoughts. And yeah, my thing I wanted to say is I'm not sure how long I will be doing this job. I love doing intercity travels and like coach. Yeah, it should be fun. Like I'm going to lorries, and hopefully it should be fun. Like I have no expectations of how it's gonna be, and I don't have any. I'm not lying to myself. I know it's gonna be hard work, but we are gonna try. And like obviously it's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. So we're gonna do what we can, and we're gonna literally, we are going to push ourselves to get to a position where we are comfortable again. Being comfortable is so easy and it's so nice. I love being comfortable, but sometimes you have to push yourself if you want. If you have goals in your life, you have things that you want to achieve, it's very important for you to push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, for you to be able to achieve your goals. And I definitely got those goals that I want to achieve before the end of my life. So we're gonna push hard, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I'm gonna just post my day to day. Like with National Express, a lot harder to record. They tend not to be so well because it's such a big company as well. Obviously you have to be careful what you record, and you have to also respect the brand as well, like by not saying the wrong thing or being a bad representation of the company, because at the end of the day I am the face of the company once I'm out and about. So if I record myself doing anything that I shouldn't be doing, it looks bad in the company and it gives them every right to get rid of me. So want to leave the industry in good terms, because I made some good friends and I met some good people along the way as well. So I don't want to do anything that's gonna disturb that. So yeah, just a few thoughts with you. We are in Green Park. This belongs to TfL into 8. So after 8, a river takes over, and it's their parking area. So they are very, 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 very. What's the word? Strict about who gets to park here. After 8, I don't even bother with the space. I always go look for something somewhere else. But we are blessed today because we arrived nice and early, and I leave at 8:30 anyway, so I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, that's the thing. I will be moving in the streets. I don't know when. I don't know how long I'll be doing this job, but I am trying to record as much as I can, as much as I am allowed. So I could make some coach content before I leave. But yeah, just know this is not gonna be how this channel is gonna operate. We're gonna eventually move on from coach work. And if you have any questions about how to do this and like what you need to do, I will make some videos explaining how I got into the industry and how good and how what's the good and what's the bad of it. I will make videos about that. And yeah, there's a lot to come. I am new to this content creating stuff, so bear with me. Like if there's anything that I should improve, like feel free to give your opinion, and I will do my best to obviously try and improve. And also remember, like this is a full-time job, so editing is limited, because I get 3 days that I can work on videos, but also those 3 days they don't just belong to just me, so I have to take into account my family and take into account like my my duties and other things that I have to do. So but I will do my best to get videos out and about. But yeah, and if I don't see you for today, like have a good day. Hello guys, and this is the next part of the video. I did tell you I wasn't going to record anything in the coach. It was a nice journey today. I wish I was able to record the journey back from London, and but I didn't. I didn't, just because, like I said before, I want to keep things to a minimum, just to make it easier for editing as well. I'm not gonna record any journeys with passengers inside, just so we keep everything blessed with the company. So anyway, moving on. The journey was a very long one. It took me 4 hours and I'd say around 4 hours and maybe 10 minutes to get to Cardiff. There was a serious accident that I had no clue about. It happened Sunday evening. It was early morning Sunday, just after the Saturday, between a white BMW and a National Express coach. One of our coaches from the Bristol depot. It was a 040 service, and the crash happened early hours in the morning on Sunday, and the BMW apparently went to the back of one of our coaches and it hit the coach roughly at 120 miles an hour. So chances are that there was a fatality that they had to investigate, hence why they had to close the motorway westbound. So I went up. I actually saw the police working around the area. I saw a few police cars, but that was just about it. I thought it was someone just fell asleep and went off the motorway. But that's what tends to happen around this time in the morning. But no, it was a fatality, and it unfortunately happened this weekend. And so I was advised to do a diversion from junction 12 on the M4, and then I took the A4. The plan was to take the A4 all the way to Chippenham and then come back down to junction 17 on the M4. But instead I only got as far as junction 15, and then I came down west M4 way, which wasn't as bad. I was delayed by an hour because of that diversion, but there was only a few sections that was rough. But apart from the queue in Newbury and the queue just off the Newbury on the A4 due to like a temporary traffic light, everything was quite smooth. But the other thing I want to say is it's dangerous out there. Like if you do drive, any of you that drive a car that go on the motorway, remember, once you're in the motorway, it's dangerous speeds that you're dealing with, and it's all sorts of people that you're dealing with. So remember, like, I see a lot of people like on their phones, and a lot of people just not taking it serious because motorway driving is boring. But there's a reason why they make it so hard for you to. There's a reason why they put all these laws in place to keep you from using your phones and and drink driving and all that, because when accidents like this happen, they are usually fatalities. And remember, like, you only have to make the mistake once for you to lose your life. So that was a little message that I wanted to say. But saying that, thank God today was a nice smooth journey. There was no issues apart from one guy slamming on the brake on the yellow, but apart from that it was no issues. We're used to that kind of driving in London anyway, but it did feel extra spicy London today. People all over the place. I had to use my horn on several occasions. Usually I use it once or twice, but today it felt like everyone was out for me. And it makes sense that we literally had about 4 or 5 accidents today. There was the one that happened Sunday morning with the offer on the white BMW, and then just after that there was a lorry. I think the 2 lorries that hit each other on the M4 as well. And then when I finished my shift, there was an accident just after the M4 bridge near Mega Services where a lorry tipped over. So it was a disastrous day. Those days don't happen too often, but when they do, they tend to come like a storm. Like, it literally, I was even thinking to myself, like, it's starting to feel a little bit calmer, because usually up to Christmas there's like a build-up of frustration between people in the motorway, and you can feel all the anger and the stress in the motorway because people are just driving like they are possessed. And that goes all the way through January up to February, and then it calms down like after the 3rd month of the year. But then you get like a little break where people are starting to be themselves again, and then summer starts to hit and then people go insane again. And I'm like, guys, like, the journey is like the objective is to get from A to B. And if you're driving like an insane person, if you're doing like, if you don't look out for others on the motorway, if you don't look out for yourself, then like you are gonna be part of the problem, part of the reasons why we have fatalities all every day on the motorways. So, but yeah, apart from that, I didn't train today. I felt like I was too mentally exhausted to train. I will do it tomorrow. But that's the problem with doing like long distance. Like, it really does take a lot out of you. But it's very important that you stay focused and pay attention to like everything that's around you, because you just never know. Like, I was just thinking to myself, that 040 driver could have been any of us, because I literally go up and down the M4 all the time, and that could have been me on that 040. Like, nothing happened to him, nothing happened to the passengers, because he was a collision from the back of the coach, and the engine took pretty much all the impact. But can you imagine just imagine like how the driver must have felt, when it happened, the passengers as well. Can you imagine hearing the loud bang from the back of the coach, and at 120 miles an hour, there is nothing we can do. Like, I've had police cars flying at that speed past me, and you can't, your mind just doesn't compute the speed. The moment you realize the police car is there, it's already gone. It must have been a scary moment for the passengers and the drivers, so my thoughts are with them. Unfortunately, there was a fatality. I think, I'm not sure, but from last time I heard that the driver didn't make, like, he was in critical conditions, and for the police to close the motorway, usually it indicates that someone passed away. And also, that section of the M4 is notorious for that kind of accident, and I don't understand why people are so crazy. But anyway, guys, this is just that was a quick update of my day, and hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching my video.